hello, g'day everyone. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me on a Sunday night. Yeah, we got good volume there. This is just an off the cuff, checking out a couple of things. Just flick over here. Had a bit of a rearrange with the cameras. As you can see, that's the older camera and it struggles at night time, even during the day. However, over here, we've repositioned one of the cameras and it's just beaming in beautifully. Plenty of light, all that sort of stuff. You can see I've been doing some work on the mill. Roger, g'day mate, how are ya? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here, Roger. You're the only one at the moment, mate. I didn't expect anyone to boom in, to come in such no real notice, off schedule, all that sort of thing. But I've been doing some work on the mill. We've had rain here on and off, and yeah. So anyway, I'm going to get over to the mill and do a bit of work. Not much, but anyway, you can see we've got a good view of the milling machine, plenty of lighting. Make sure we got we got plenty of power on the old light. These are currently what I'm making for this milling vise here. In fact, we probably need to get that set up a bit straighter than what it is. We need to take the milling cutter out, get the spanner, undo the draw bolt, give that a bit of a whack, like so. And we just undo the draw bolt. So I'll get the dial indicator on and I'll show you how we set that up. Tell you what I'm going to do. Bring that over there. We need to wind this down a bit. Hope you had a good day, Roger. A good weekend. Being Mother's Day and all. Let's get a few things out the way first. Wind this out. It looks pretty good actually. You can see what I'm doing. Plenty of clearance, plenty of light. Get our parallel strips out. And we'll get our dial indicator set up. Get him in a bit closer. And see how far we're out. Can sort of see how far it is out already actually. I should right, I'm just going to put it in place roughly. You can see, oh yeah, you can see that I've got the dial indicator on there. Peter, I never steal your thunder, mate. Right, so I'm going to tap that around a bit. We've got that loosened off. We'll bring that back and see how we go. Right, and this is why I'm changing the setup on the milling vise here, because these slots are just a pain in the bum and it takes ages to get it lined up, or trammed in as they call it. So we'll get some hold down clamps out and we'll bolt it down in place. We'll just nip that up slowly. I'll give it another tap around to there. It's still way out, so I'll keep going around. That's better. Getting better all the time. Put that on 0. So we're still out a fair bit. Oh, we've gone off. Let's take that around to there and see how we go. Actually, I could always turn this around, which I might do actually. It might work better. There we go. And that way you guys can see it. There we go. That's a bit better. Hey, Becky. Yeah, there we go. We've got the dial indicator on there. We've got some movement there. How can I tighten that? Righto. Yeah. It's a bit loose in there. Can that be tightened up? Let's have a look at that. Believe it or not, that there's a little pin there and it's wobbling around, and it's actually can cause some inaccuracies. So what that does is adjust that up and down like so. That's terrible, Muriel, to be honest. Let's see if we can get it in a position where it's gonna, there we go. We've got that in a position where it's locked in place now. So I'll reposition the dial indicator. Just catch up. Hello, Mr. Funkin' Hungry. Hello. Hello, thanks for being here. Just let me do a bit of catch up here. Yeah, just a off-the-cuff live stream. Righto, so over the distance, we are 1/2 mil out. So I'll just make an adjustment. I'm tapping the back end of the vise, and I'll tighten that down like so, and we'll just run this backwards and forwards a bit more. Reposition that, and it's raining again. Might be a slow old day at work, but that might be good actually. Righto, so we've got to tap that around a bit more. So over the distance of the vise, I'm just under, I'm 0.4 of a millimetre out of parallel to the table. So we need to have this parallel. I'll just bring that back half. Bring that back to 0.2. Thanks, G. If you haven't noticed, I've actually had a bit of a change around. I've taken the camera that was over there and I've put it over here. So I'm just seeing how it... wow. Sorry, I'm just drilling over a steamroller. Let's go back here. Oops. Yeah, I'll just show you. I showed earlier. I'll just show you the difference. This is the camera I had pointing out. This is the old camcorder which I've used before, and as you can see, it really struggles at night time. Even during the day, you can see how grainy it is compared to the to this one, which is one of the Insta360 cameras. You can see why I bit the bullet and did the upgrade. It's you know, it's just made a world of difference. And I should have moved this over later. These webcams are expensive. I'm not going to blow wind up anyone's skirt, but they really do show the difference here. Yeah. So of course, the other Insta360 is this one here, and they really are just fantastic. They just work perfectly, and there's built-in features. That one there I can turn on and have auto tracking, but I really don't like it because it zooms in, goes to zoom in on your face, and it just, I'd rather, I got to sit down and work out more with it, but at the moment it just works fine. It's just perfect. This is a better look, and of course the other thing is I can turn this one around too. I can rotate it around a bit more, and this one's on a gimbal. You know, you can turn it up, move it around, and I can go right around to the shed, you know, that sort of thing. You get the idea. But anyway, I just wanted a better look, and also you can sort of see me doing something over here. Eventually there'll be another camera down the road, another camera down the traps, so we can here we go, so we can get a better view. And this rain's annoying. We've already had an inch of rain in the gauge today. I'm probably going to have to go put the hose on and a little bit out. Still out. That's redonkulous. Just bring it back down here, put it on to 0. Oh, you're joking me. What is going on here? So as you can see, this is the problem I have. No, I just made it worse now. Righto. Just made it worse. Righto. And these pieces here, that I'm holding up, I'm going to make them into a couple of little keys, and they'll go underneath, which I've already machined underneath, which is parallel. So once I'm out, that was my finger in the way. Once I get these keys sorted out, I won't have to do this as drastically as what I'm doing now. There we go. Righto, let's just Stylesy, g'day mate, thanks for being here. Hope you're well, hope you had a good Mother's Day and a good weekend. I do appreciate you guys being here and taking your valuable time to come and watch and chat. Righto, we're getting better. 0.1 of a mil. Should be that close to. Right, we're down to a few hundredths of a millimetre now. I'm splitting hairs here, I really am. This is bananas. Righto, let's. Everything's solid and tight here. Righto. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move that clamp around because it's moved a bit. I'm going to tighten that right down. It's going the wrong way. I'm going about half. Righto. It's about 0.1, about 0.08 of a millimetre. So there is a slight discrepancy in how parallel it is to the machine, but we're talking about 5/600ths of a millimetre, which is bugger all. So these things here, let's get a nice close-up shot, they're parallel strips. They're precision made, well, they're just bits of steel ground to certain tolerances. And they go into your vise like so. You've got to make sure there's no crap in here. And what I can do is like so. I can put my part in the vise here, like so. Looks like This afternoon when I checked, the tank was already full. I might have to go and put the hose on and start draining the water out of the tank, even though we've got an overflow pit. So what you can't see, or you may be able to see, there is a shoulder on this part. So I'm using the edge of the vise let's get me parallel strips sitting right at the end. I'm using the ruler as a stop. And I'm just going up to that shoulder there. I'll clamp the vise up. Right, I don't need that. And I'll get my dead blow hammer. Righto. And the idea is that if everything's set in place, the parallel strips shouldn't be moving. Yep, righto. So what's that? That will now allow me to use my pointer here. What I'll do, I'll put the milling cutter in and I'll just take a small cut across there, and then I'll find a smaller end mill. I'll put a small end mill in the place, and then I'll just machine down all the way through and cut that off. It's a little bit wasteful, a little bit time consuming. It's probably going to be 6 1/2 dozen the other, where it's going to be quicker to just run the grab the hacksaw. And the hacksaw's blunt. Yeah, the hacksaw's blunt as your mother's brother. And if any of you guys watch Drain Clean Australia down in South Australia, he uses that saying. If you haven't watched his stuff, go watch it. It's about unblocking drains, all sorts of drains, sewers and grease traps and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and so I don't know what, he's all over the place. Watch some of his stuff and you'll probably recognise some of the places that he goes to. Pretty entertaining sort of guy. Righto, so now we've got that all lined up. Bring this back over here. Like so, and I've got to change the collet. Because that one's too big. I'll just have a quick check in the chat. And then we got to get our collets. Right, I'll show you what a collet is. Okay, so that's a collet. That there, that little thing there. And let's get the right size one. We're going to go, I'm going to check my battery and make sure we got plenty of battery. Oh yeah, we've still got over half. Half? Did you say half? Oh, God. Ooh. I bashed my little pinky before and yes, I'm feeling it. That's an 8mm. I'm going to go the other way. Come on. It's not going to be long enough, is it? Let's see what I can find. Let's see what else I can find. I might have to go a bit bigger than what I actually want. Oh, that's a tiny one, that one. It's too tiny.
What's that? 8 mil, is it?
Don't. I'm talking to myself, and I usually do. I'm going around in circles.
It's 8 mil shank. 8 mil. I'm definitely going to have to go put that hose on, I think. Just when you think things are starting to dry out, they get wet again. Yeah, well, them's the brakes. It's 8 mil as well. Looks like it's going to be 8 mil. Because I don't think I've got... Yeah, no, that's too small. Oh, here we go. Bob's your mother's brother. 6. Let's try that. Right, we found a 6 mil. Put that 8 mil back in there because 8 mil's just going to be a little bit too big. I don't have a stutter, really. Unless I can find another one. What's that? 8 mil. What are 8 mil cutters? Righto. See how that goes. Looks a little bit blunt. Anyway, that's an end mill. It's got 4 flutes on it. Hopefully that's not too... Get the idea. Yeah. Going around the twist. Thanks, Stylesy. I appreciate it, mate. Very much so. Righto, a bit of the old, there it is, WD-40. Just in the collets are in a little plastic bag, and just a little bit of penetrating oil on there to help them stay a bit on the moist side so the rust doesn't get in. Anyway, Peter was live on his server before and I stole his thunder, apparently. I think I've showed you this before. The collet goes inside the body and then it all goes up in there and up in flames and all that sort of thing. No, it doesn't go up in flames, that's for sure. Righto. Now we get a hammer. There we go. Here's one we prepared earlier. We just tighten that up. Nice and tight. Put that over there. Put that there. Bring the table up. I could bring the quill down, but it's just easy to bring the table up. Righto. Let's go all the way. Righto. Well, let me know how I sound, fellas, if I sound all right, if there's too much noise. So all I've done there is just taken a little facing cut and I'll wind the table back down. I'll reset me 0, so we're 6 mil, so I want that to be 20, so we need to go 26. Right, we're almost there. On the digital readout, I've gone 26 millimetres from this edge. So if we take 6 millimetres off the cutter, we'll have a nice block at 20 millimetres long. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Thanks, Roger. Thanks, G, the G-Man, the G-Whiz, the G-Banger. Does the G-Man wear a G-Banger? I don't know. I ponder these questions sometimes, but it's really not irrelevant. Righto. And we'll run a bit of coolant on this to help cool the part and also lubricate it at the same time. Turn that right down. Actually, got to go down a bit more. Righto, we've touched that. 0, let's take a 1 mil depth of cut. See how that goes. That's not going very well. Right, that's blunt. That's not going to work. You can, when you get experience, I did have a look at that and it did look a bit blunt. It just, and it also doesn't feel right. So let's go to plan B. Yeah. Yeah, shouldn't have put that in. That's blunt. Oh well, get that on the big jobs, apparently. Right. What do we got here? That looks pretty darn good. We're going to go for an 8 mil one. So we'll just take our cutter a couple of steps, a couple of extra mil the other way. Just got to change collets, go to a slightly bigger collet. Is that, what's that one? Yep. Whee! Slippery little sucker. Righto, so we've changed collets, changed cutters. Put that in there like so. Get that up into there like so. Tighten her up. Give that a bit of a wipe down because it's a bit oily from the old WD-40. Go another couple of mil. I could probably I should try and set up the iPhone. And I'm going to reset my 0. Righto, let's try just half a mil. See how, oh yeah, that's better. That's going through it like butter. Right, let's whip through this. The difference is incredible. This is a 4-flute tungsten carbide end mill. I've got to keep adjusting that. And I'm taking 2 mil cuts. A little bit of vibration, but we're chomping through it pretty good. Keeping the coolant on it. And we're now 10 millimeters deep. It looks like we've got about 4 mil to go. Yeah, another 2. Righto, we've got about a mil to go, so I'll just go another 2 mil. Yep, we're through, and when we get to the end here, our part, what we want, you're starting to see it break off now. There we go. And that's how you do it with, you can see the cuts where we took the steps in 2 millimeter cuts. Just on the end there, see that all right? Yeah. Yeah. So I'll run this on the, little bit of variation there, but what's important in this situation is this here, this measurement here is the 14 millimeter. So I'm going to drill a hole through here. You can see that, I'm going to drill a hole through here so the bolt can go through. These are probably maybe a little bit long. I may have to mill these down a bit. But anyway, that's what we want. So we'll throw the other one in. Hey, Dogface, how are you, mate? Thanks for being here. The Outback Shed. Appreciate you being here, Dogface. Just doing a little livey tonight. Right, so I can wind my table down and I don't have to change anything. If I've got the digital readout, I can stay where I am. or I can move it. But for repetition purposes, I'll just pick this one up. Get my ruler. And do the same again. Just hold it in place against the right-hand side of the vise, which is my datum or your 0 point. It's pretty, in fact, I'll just clean up that end. I will come. Very light cleanup cut on the end here. Just like so. I didn't set my part down. Come on, play the game. Sometimes a different hammer does the trick. That's perfect. The dead blow hammer with the lead shot in it makes a world of difference. So I just touch. So I'm on my 0 mark. Wind that down and I'll go 28. Too far. Right, so we'll do the same again. We'll take 2mm cuts. If you guys have any questions, fire away. Just double check. And we'll just slowly cut through this, same as we did before. The good thing about this, it doesn't matter the way I'm cutting. It can make a difference the way you cut sometimes, but in this situation, it doesn't matter. The milling cutter doesn't really care, it's just cutting. And it saves me time winding it back. Be nice to have an automatic feed on the Y-axis. I can buy additional bits of equipment, motor drives, but it's almost not worth it with the amount of time I spend in here, which is not much. Well, amount of machining time, I should say. I do spend a fair bit of time up the shed here. And we're almost through. After this, we'll have one more cut. Almost there. You'll start to see the part wobble. And I'm just slowly milling off. There we go. It's fallen on the ground. Righto. Over to the linisher. We'll clean that up and then we'll have a bit of a clean down on the vise. Righto, so we've got our two little bits now. There they are here. And I'll set up and drill a hole for them. Oops, a bit of... Did I freeze just then, or was it just my other screen? Oh, we should have cleaned those up as well. We'll clean these up, just take the burrs off. There we go, and we'll put them in the top drawer there for later, for Ron. Ron will come along and use those. Never know when you might need a small bit of steel or something like that. Has Nightbot dropped in and said hello? I don't think Nightbot's dropped in and said hello tonight. No, I thought Nightbot would have dropped in by now and said hello. How dare Nightbot not do that? Anyway, never mind. Never mind. Doesn't matter, does it? Righto. So I'm still here. I'm just over on the other computer, just checking something out. And no, still there. Righto. Oh, he's live. Well, that's true, Peter. That's true. Who uses magazines when the internet is right here? Oh, that's a nice shade of green. I like that. Excellent, Simon. And Playboy do they still print Playboy magazine? Oh my God. I didn't think they printed it any. Oh, I suppose it's such a popular magazine. It's got some good articles in it. I'm sure you'd agree, Dogface. Yeah, righto. Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. I think it's time to go get a little drinky poos, I think. So I'm going to put a bit of
intermission in, as in one of my previous YouTube videos. How about we do that? Oh my God. Geez. I better not share something that that's inappropriate or not suited to the channel or somebody else's stuff. Otherwise, I'll probably get a copyright of some sort. So let's have a look at videos. Something that can act as like a little bit of a break, and you guys can go and have a break too. Oh, I think that might be a good one. Some plonker on screen there. Share one of my own videos. Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it, mate. I did catch some of yours last night, Roger, when you after the main live stream. I did catch a little bit of it, but when oh, gee. Actually, a cup of tea would be nice. I had one earlier. Maybe I should have something else. I need to have. Anyway, right. If you guys want to go and do something else, I'm just going to share some plonker on screen here. I don't know who he is. Does that look right? Oh, yeah.
G'day everyone, welcome back to the shed. My name's Mark, and this is part 2 of the repair on the steering
I don't
cover
know why
for
the video
the
is
steam
so
roller.
low.
I showed that previously. I'll
Audio.
drop another photo in here. So what we're going to look at is the little cover that you can open up and
Just
drop
tell me,
oil
guys,
onto the
is that
worm.
audio a
So
bit
the
on the low side?
worm will have plenty of lubrication, plus the bearing faces and so on. So we'll flip around and we'll have a look at that.
Not sure how to increase the volume.
This is the cover in question. It's just an oil cover.
If anybody knows, I'd appreciate it.
When it was placed into the park,
I've got it
like
turned
we have
right
a lot
up.
of other rollers, it was welded in place, and we break the welds off, and as you can see that the welds are leaving.
Thanks, guys. I
bags.
appreciate it. I don't know.
Closer. There we go. I could leave it like that, but we're this far down on the rebuild, we might as well fix it up. There's 2 sides. Now, it's very superficial. Most people wouldn't worry about this, but I'm going to fix it up. So
Yeah, I'm
we'll
just
get the
trying
TIG
to
welder out.
diagnose things on the
We'll give
run
this a
here.
bit
I
of a
just
sand
don't know
blast,
how to.
get any crap off,
I'll turn the volume up here.
and we'll put some very fine welds on here where my finger is with the TIG welder. I'll give it a
I'll have a look,
quick
Jenny.
sandblast
Thanks
first.
for the tip.
We'll show you what we're going to do there, and then I'll show you the setup with the TIG welder.
A simple thumb trick discovered by NASA scientists could be the key to reversing memory decline. Here's how it works. You probably heard that as you age, your memory is bound to...
You may have seen this in other videos I've done, but this is...
Has that made any sort of difference at all?
It's a Tool Pro brand.
Yeah.
It's here for me in Australia. Made in China, of course, like all of them.
Has that made a difference at all, guys?
Going from the compressor, not the biggest airline, but it does the job. Air gun, which sucks up the sand in the bottom or whatever media you've got in here and blasts it out at a fast rate. One upgrade I have, a couple upgrades I have made to this sandblaster is the light on top. These come with a light that goes on the inside, which I'll show you.
Yeah, all right.
It goes in between those 2 clips, but it's just a very small fluoro that gets sandblasted really quick and loses its brightness. It gets dull very quick. So I've retrofitted this with LED light, which makes a world of difference, as you can see. The other thing we've done is we've set up the vacuum cleaner down here. So I'm getting positive suction of sucking out. Sometimes it probably sucks a bit too much out, but it does a great job. So that's the sandblaster. Let's get our part, give it a quick sandblast, and then onto some TIG welding. Righto, this is the Unimig Razor AC/DC pulse welder. It'll do TIG and arc welding in all the various formats, as you can see. I've got the amperage set pretty low. I'm going to start with low amperage, and I'll just step through and make sure everything's right. Post, finish amp, we're going to come down. Leave it, the finish amp is not really going to matter. Finish amp. Actually, it probably will. So I'll set the finish amp at 50. Finish amp is not really going to matter. 2.4. Starting, let's get that right down to 45. Starting amp and the peak amp. Yeah, I'll start at 45. This machine is more capable than what I do with it. It really is a good machine. I've had it for a while now. There's all sorts of welders out there. I brought this a couple of years ago now. It's been a great machine. I can't fault it. It'll do arc welding. I've mainly just got it set up for TIG. And it's just the perfect machine for what I do here at home. I'd like to do more with it, but once again, that comes back to my work, how much I'm on the road with work. Now, I haven't modified this welder in any way. Some people put a foot pedal on. I haven't got one of those. It's just all stock standard, whatever was in the box, however it came, and that's what I'm using. That's rusty as anything. That needs to go in the bin. I weld left-handed. Most people are right-handed. It doesn't matter which way you weld as long as the weld welds. Now, on the previous, when I was doing the sandblasting, the video may have been out of focus a bit. That's probably because the way I had the phone sitting, it was looking through the glass, it was looking through into the cabinet, so it could be a bit out of focus. I apologise for that if that's the case. However, let's get on. Righto. Quick word on TIG welding. The TIG welding, this is not to teach you how to TIG weld. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube. If you're interested in learning how to TIG weld, go and watch some of those videos. There's some great videos out there, really good resources, and also some online stuff that I'm sure you can find. TIG welding really needs to, it's all about the preparation. Everything needs to be cleaned. So I've given our fellow rod a bit of a tickle up, given it a wipe down with acetone. We've got this nicely sandblasted. PPE is very important, personal protective equipment. I do see some people on YouTube welding in short sleeves and things like that. The problem with that is TIG welding gives off a lot of UV rays, so you can get sunburnt very quickly. Trust me, I've learnt by mistakes, by my own mistakes. But in saying that, we'll get my gloves on, I'll get my helmet on, I'll get myself set up, and I'll run a bead of weld and see what it looks like. Right, we're back. As you can see, I did a little test weld off camera just to see how it went, and it went really well. The amperage could probably go up a little bit. The fans kicked in, as you can hear, on the welder, but I might just go up a couple of notches, and we'll do another bead and see how that goes. I'm keeping the torch over the weld to get that gas shielding, making sure it doesn't oxidise too quickly. And I'll get my eyes on and I'll have a close look at that. It's starting to look really good. We'll put a bead on this side. Just that way I've got plenty of coverage on this side here. That's where my finger is. So I can grind it back off and just blend it in nicely. Let's zoom in a bit here. I'll reposition and it should get a nice tight arc shot. It's one of the other things I'm trying to do, is trying to keep a nice tight arc, get a really nice bead. It's a fairly warm night here in my part of the world, and these gloves that I'm wearing, Tigmate Pro, I got to thank my mate Mark for giving them to me. They're really comfortable, really nice gloves, but boy, do you start to sweat pretty quick in them. Getting really good gas flow, good bead. Everything's going nicely here. Well, from behind here anyway. Righto folks, well, a little bit of work off camera just to fix up a couple of tiny little bits, but still a little bit warm there after welding and grinding and all that wonderful stuff. I'm very happy with that, how it's come up. Couldn't ask for much better. So I'll give that a undercoat. Probably give it another sandblast and an undercoat, and that way stop the rust getting to it. But that's it. That's the end of part 2 for this on that little cover. There's still more to go on the actual cover. This thing here. Let's turn around and get it right. That thing there. There's still more work to go there. Fair bit of work actually. A bit more involved than what I first thought, but a lot of these things are. And we're going to have to take some rivets out, take these off. I want to keep them mainly because they're original, and they're still in good shape. They don't have, the only load bearing they have is just holding this on. So even though there is a little bit of deterioration on this one here, it's still going to do the job. Anyway, thanks everyone. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now. Bye.
There we go. We're back, and we'll stop sharing that so we don't get any ads or anything like that. That was a good little break. It gave me time to go upstairs and grab a can of sugar. Right, so I'm going to have a little bit of a break and a little bit of a look around. Some guy's on the internet right now. He's live. I don't know what he's doing. Absolutely crazy. And I've already gone an hour. That's incredible. Mind you, a lot of it's just been mucking around. What's on the YouTube feeds right now? Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. It's about a month ago. Shorts. Oh no. Oh, bring me up and I'll share a screen, and look what's come up straight away in the shorts. Anybody recognise that fella there? The one on the left. Do we know him? Don't know who that bloke is. You never know what he's going to say. He might let out a bit of a crazy choice words. But that's what you get on the YouTube feed here. Only planes. There you go. Some fake stuff. No more electric. Oh, electric's gone. It's amazing. How many subscribers did you get this week on vidIQ? go check them out. They do some good stuff. There's some changes made to the monetization. Don't know, G, whether you know that or not. Hydraulic riveting. Oh, that'd be good to see. Making rivets. What if I... Righto, let's... 1 year ago. Yeah, he's got... probably should ask permission first, eh? I see he's building his own little railway. Doesn't go live. Mind you, he's got almost 3,000 subscribers. Got some good stuff there, by the looks. Built his own railway. His own little locomotive. It's amazing what you can do at home if you put your mind to it, spend enough time doing something. Just have a look at what I do, how silly I am. All right, we'll go back. And if we go over to my channel, and look at that. Some bloke, he's live, he's at Doggy Beach, and yeah, he's a bit doggy, this bloke. I don't know what why he's even doing this stuff. Wonder if we clicked on the live, if we'd get an echo. Brad's gold, yeah. Comes out with some choice stuff sometimes, that's for sure. Anyway, slowly getting there. I'm sure I'm doing it wrong. Subscriptions. The official Gibbo, haven't seen him in a while. You all. Where's some of our other supporters? Let's see if we can find some fellow YouTubers. Oh, here they are. Keep coming. Yeah, some people get a bit funny about it. I've probably got too many subscribers on here. Vetted's a good channel if you're into your UFOs and stuff like that. There's a lot of videos. There's Bill Baggins. This bloke here, Mark Martell, he's great. He sounds so much like Freddie Mercury. It's not funny. Go watch his stuff. What else we got here? Egotastic Fun Time. He's changed over the time. Robbie Williams, don't know who he is. You know, like all things, a lot of the Colonel's Fishing Adventures. Who's that? Don't know who that is. This guy here, Secure Team 10, used to watch him all the time. He was one of the big UFO channels back in the day, in the early days. He would put out content every day almost, and he had that classic sort of music that just got you hooked in, and he got so popular. He almost got too popular, sort of thing, and he got himself burnt. He burnt out, and he took a lot of time off. He had some minor issues, and he's slowly coming back, and he does the odd video here and there. Interesting guy. Watched him for a long time. Cold Fusion, that's another good one. He's in WA, I think, that guy. Haven't seen much. It's funny how some of these guys that you start watching straight away and for ages, and then suddenly they just stop making stuff. Like, I don't know, this bloke here. Anybody know this bloke here? It looks familiar. He really does. Don't know whether you watch his stuff. He's only got 33 subscribers, so he mustn't be very good. But anyway, we'll keep going. Might find another channel here that looks familiar. Post Disclosure World, he changed his name. This bloke used to be known as UFO Jesus, because he looked like Jesus and he wore a robe and he changed his act a little bit. So Used to just do short videos. Now he does longer ones. Funny. I know other people have done that. They started out real short, weren't sure what they're doing. And now they're making longer and longer videos all the time. Yeah, don't know who G is. Yeah. It's, that's him. Oh, mate, Drain Clean Australia. There you go. 260,000 subscribers. I'm subscribed. He's down in your part of town, Stylesy and G. And videos are much the same, but he makes it interesting, that's for sure. Sid Squad, don't know who they are. Hypersapien TV, I think I've heard of him. 69 subscribers. Well, he's doing better than that other G bloke, you know, so I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they need some lessons. Hypersapien TV. I wonder what sort of content he puts out. Maybe we should click on it and have a look. I think we might do that. We'll click on it. And, oh my God. Have a look at this bloke here. Hypersapien TV. Mind you, I do like his banner. Got a really good banner going on there. It's not too much over the top, maybe, you know. Just Hypersapien TV with some futuristic looking robots on either side. Return of the Plonker. Oh my, hey, hang on, what am I doing there? Oh my God. I'm on there. I'm famous. Oh, there's Soul. Poor old Soul. And please subscribe to these channels below. Look at that. Hypersapien Hobbies, Funk and Hungry, Cody. I think some people have got some identity crisis. This is Mark Shed Talk. Have to talk to this Cody Aussie Alistair Frambroni guy. He's got like 12,000 K. Whoa, he's hooking it. All right, that's enough. I think we got the picture. So that's the sort of thing that I get on my feeds. Like this. So we're talking the other night. Oh, this bloke here. I think I've watched one of his videos, and I don't think I'm subscribed to him, and he just, you know, it just comes up in the feed now. 24-hour watch long on Wi-Files if you're into that sort of thing. There's just too much sometimes on YouTube to watch, and you can't get rid of it. Oh, you just got to ignore it. Some really good stuff. This one here, Preston Dennett. If you're into your UFOs, go watch Preston Dennett, especially the stuff he puts out each week. Especially he talks, he does a different series each week. So he talks about onboard UFO encounters. This is true stories. He does UFOs in your hometown and UFO and paranormal. He really presents some really good, compelling cases. Absolutely wonderful. VN video editor, because I've looked at that anyway. Right, let's get back to, there we go. Stop sharing that. Take another swig of the sugar. We'll go back over to the mill now. We've had a little bit of a break. And right, I'll get back in the picture here. 20 by 20, 14. I don't know if 20 is going to be, oh yeah, that slides in nice. Actually, let's show that on the camera. It's 21, 20, 21. So these here, I'm going to drill a hole
and they're going to go slide down in there. That's a little bit tight. This one was just a little bit, the other side it went nicely, but that's a really nice fit in there. That'll be good actually. So we'll change over to the drill chuck. And we're going to drill a hole in the center of these. They're 14 mil wide and they're 20 mil long, 21, either way. Doesn't matter. 20, perfect. So what I'll do is, once again, it doesn't matter where I go, but it will matter. How am I going to do this without drilling through a hole through the parallels? What I might have to do is go through most of the way, slide one of the parallels out the way to, I'm going to have to take out one parallel anyway because it's too tight, like so. And I'll use one of the parallels as a stop, like so. Right, let's get that out of there. Put the drill chuck in, get my big spanner. Get it in the right spot. Get that off there, a bit of a tap, like so. That just releases it out of the taper here. Put it in there, swap it over. In the next one, put the drawbar back down. And do that up, put that there, and we'll get our center drill. We'll get a new center drill because that one was a little bit blunt I was using the other day. One of these small ones here. Oh, there's another ruler. Happy days. Another 6-inch ruler. That's very handy to have. Where should I put that? I should put that there like that. Right. So I've got this magnet. It's fairly weak. It's enough to stick on the side and for the ruler to sit on the side there. It's always handy to have multiples of rulers or rules. Right, center drill, small thing, 2 mil diameter. Oh, that coke's working well. And we want a drill for our hole. And we want a 5 millimeter. There's 5. 5. Yeah, well, that's true, Peter. So true. I have been known to do things like that before. 5.5, that's too big. That's 3.5, that's too small. Here we go, the big and the small. Why don't I just go to... What have I missed out on? Pizza. Who's ordered pizza? Well, it could be worse too, Peter. I could be getting echoing or feedback or whatever else I've done over time. It's only when Mark's on that these problems happen. I've heard that before. Right. There we go. 5mm. Well, if there's one, there's another. If one fails, you go get another one. Well, not fails if you don't have it. Righto. So now I've got to find the centre of our part. Right, so that's 20 and we know that's 14. So what we'll do is we'll unlock the quill and we'll move our light down here like so. Come on, stay there. Righto. Right, I've just barely touched, I have touched the side here. You could put a little bit of toilet paper on there, wet that and wait till it moves, and that way you know you're touching the edge. I'll zero my digital readout. We know that's 20mm. 20, half of 20 is 10, plus half the diameter of that is 2mm, so we got to go 20, go 11. Right. And we now know that's in the middle. So what we'll do, we'll come over and do the same. Now Y, touch there. We know that's 14. Half of 14 is 7, plus 1 is 8. There we go, we're in the centre. I was going to go live earlier this afternoon, but weather conditions didn't permit it. Now I'm going to have to wind that down. Get that out of the way. So we can get our drill bit in. And I'll just come back over and check that everyone's behaving themselves in the chat. Of course, you guys are behaving yourselves. Let's put this over here. And let's go big. Ooh, not that big. I want live chat. Has anybody seen Nightbot in here at all? Nightbot's being a very naughty boy. Righto. Right, this last little bit, I'll just take the parallel out the way. And that way I can drill through without drilling into the parallel. Feel that breaking through, then we're done. Get me a little brush here. There we are. Brush all that swarf away. Away with you. Oh, take that out. We'll clean that burr off in a second. Oh, welcome to all. Oh, excuse me. All 10 of you watching. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what's in that Coke, but apparently it's not good for you. If anybody knows, they can put it in the live chat or just in the chat down below. It's 21. Now this one's 1 mil longer. It really doesn't matter because once again, we're going to use our right-hand side of the vise. I'll put the parallel there, put the vise there, put that up there like so. Right, and that's not going anywhere. Change over to our center drill again, get our center and drill our hole, take the burr off. Then I can undo the vise and put our little blocks in place on the vise, turn it over and check to make sure that this thing is trammed in or it's going to go the way I'm hoping. If it doesn't, I've screwed up somewhere. And we're just repeating the process we've done before. All right, we'll get our parallel out the way. Right. Done like a dog's dinner. And the dogs did have their dinner tonight, so you don't have to worry. It's all good. And I'll have to put a little bit of, oh, there, nurse. Our little pin just dropped out of the key. It's, might have to give it a bit of a bendy. Right, so I'll take our 5mm drill and put it back in the box, which is over here on the ute, so it's back in its place. Like so. And I'm going to have to put some tools away too, so I can go to work in the morning. Righto, so we've got a couple of little burrs on our blocks from drilling, so I'll just put in our tiny little deburring tool. Like so, where are we? There we go. There's our tiny little deburring tool. Hopefully you can see that. Just turn him on, hold it by hand. Not quite, so let's... There we go. Nice little bird. Chamfer on there. Chamfer. However you like to pronounce your chamfers. Peter will probably tell me what the correct way is. Is it chamfer or champ? Ooh, chamfer. That's a good one. A little bit aggressive there. Don't do that on the live stream. Right. Now there's only 5 mil hanging out of there, which is not enough. So I can cannonball. That'll give me another 5. Do I cannonball? What size is the head? 8. Righto, if I cannonball, it's going to give me 10, and that should be sufficient. Sufficient to... Right. Yeah, all right, let's cannonball. Let's get one of our parallels back again. And we'll use the other one as our datum. Line the hole back up. Like so, just like so. And oh, that's perfect. So I'll use my center drill to line myself back up, because that's actually 5 millimeters. We're getting down on the battery on the actual transmitter here. The receiver, just out of interest, the receiver hardly budged, and that's what happens with these things. The transmitter always uses more power. In fact, if everything's the same, I should just use my digital readout. Use a little bit out, so there we go. Perfect. Right, that out. Okay, so to cannonball, I really need me 8. I need to swap those over again. Oh, did that up tight. So this is not a professional live stream at all. Highly recommend you go watch somebody else. But if you've got nothing better to do and there's nobody else that interests you, you can, by all means, stay here and continue to watch. What's happening in our have a drinky poos? Oh, yeah, we retracted your message, Peter. Barbecue meat lovers. Yep, let's do that. Blondie Hacks. Yeah, I Haven't watched a lot of her stuff. I know Emma does. Righto. Lock up the quill. I'll bring the table up and I'll zero the DRO. Righto. Counterbore done, just like that. I will have to, that's an 8mm end mill, these are 8.3. So I'll just have to run this down on the lathe a little bit, which won't take much. So I end up going 6mm deep. Nice little recess there. And there we go. Can we see that? Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Just give that a quick clean. Here we go again. Right, we are done. Well, that looks like it's slightly out. And it is. What happened there? Let's just double check that again. Probably got it on the wrong side. That's probably the one that's a millimetre difference. So let's just fix that up. That's what happened. It's now sorted. Right. Over on the lathe, just to take, oops. All right, over on the lathe, just to take a little bit off. So we'll, woo! Hold on there, folks. Hang on. Oh, look at that. There we go. Nothing like a bit of repositioning. That'll spin your wheel nuts. Or spin you out completely. So my back will be turned. But this will only take a very short period of time. We're not going to worry about and I'll bring my little pieces over here so I can just check the sizes to make sure I'm happy with it. Get our verniers. Just a little bit big. Take another. It's almost size for size. We probably need a little bit of clearance. Yep. So all I'm doing is just reducing the diameter of the head on the cap screw so it fits in nicely with a little bit of play. We'll run the file, take the burrs off. It's one down, one to go. And that fitted in before, doesn't want to play the game now. There's probably a burr on there that's stopping it from doing that. And it's slightly out, that's why. Let's check the other one. Oh, they're both slightly out. Hey, bugger. All right. Let's just take a bit more off the head diameter. That'll solve that problem. It's what you get sometimes for being just a bit too accurate. Just running the lathe file over to take the... That's better. It works fine now. Just make sure it works in the other one. Yep. .5, so we're taking about 0.8 of a mil off the head of the diameter. Once again, being stainless, it's not going to matter for the application. Still plenty of meat there. Double check your measurement. Plenty of play there. Another little cut. Take the burrs off with the lathe file. Righto. Take that out. Turn the lathe off. Jump back over and see what you chatterboxes are up to. Oh, it's Cody. Hey, Cody, how are you, mate? Thanks for being here, Cody. Bit of a surprise one. Late night one. Well, not quite a late night. Started like 7:30 or whatever I did. Okay, that there, that there. Let's get some stuff out the way. Have a bit of a clean down. Oh, hang on. we better change that back around, eh? Instead of the lathe, go back over to the mill where I'm working. Let me just fix that up. And straighten him up. How does that look? Does that look all right? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's good, mate. It's good to catch up with do a bit of a catch-up call. Right. Let's clean this this vice down. Well, there will be no surprise to you, Cody, that the usual riffraff is in the house. And I do say that with a kind gesture of riffraff. You guys have supported me for a long time. And without any real notification, you guys are here, taking time out of your day. And whoever else is in the chat room not chatting. Right, so we've done all the machining, we've drilled holes, all that sort of stuff. No, that can stay there. Right, we can undo the milling vise and flip it over. Excuse me. Right, I'll run this down here to the end. Put that down that end as well. So just so it gives us some room to do things. And I'll give this table a wipe down. In fact, what I'll have to do, I did add oil to the coolant. This is a water soluble oil and it's quite watery at the moment. So the milling table here can get rusty, or will get rusty. Not can, it will. So this is just a little handmade tool, shop-made tool, just easy, nothing special. Bit of scrap aluminium. Just allows me to get into the bedways and pull out the swarf or the chips that accumulate in there. Scrape it out and put it in the bin, and bin night tomorrow night. So the lathe's a bit dirty. I'll need to give it a bit of a clean down. Right. Let that drain away. It's getting a bit ratty now, so we'll throw that in the bin. Hang our tool back up. Have another swig of the can of Coke. Yeah, mate, yeah, just doing some work in the shed here, Colonel, trying to resolve an issue. Not really resolve. It is resolving an issue. I'm just making life easier for myself. So when I set up the milling table here, the milling vise, sorry. Right, we'll turn this over nice and carefully. Now, actually I should try and I'll flip this right over. And I'll wind this out so it's easier. Righto, so previously I milled these two slots here and they're parallel with each other. And the whole idea is for these to get screwed into there, No, that's too big. There we go, we got the right one now. So these should locate nicely in there, which they do. Everything looks really good. Screw that into there. Now, they're quite substantial. They're probably a little bit too long for the application. So I might actually have to reduce the height of these down. They might just be too long. I could even make them just about half that. They're about 20 mil now. I could probably take them down to 10 and there'll still be plenty to register in the bedway here. We'll see how it goes. Right, let's keep that handy. We'll give everything a nice clean. The idea of these slots is when you put a workpiece on the table, you've got various ways of securing it to the table, regardless of size and things like that. Just give that a nice clean up. And what I will do is give it a bit of a spray with WD-40. That'll just help everything. And I'll just wipe the excess off. And the excess I'll just wipe onto the top of the bed here. It's like I said, that coolant's looking a bit, looking a bit runny, a bit watery, sorry. Right, here we go. If you ever watch the hydraulic press channel, the guys out of husband and wife team out of, I think it's Ukraine or something like that. They got a fairly heavy accent, and the guy, when they're about to press something in their hydraulic press, and here we go. It's quite funny to watch, actually. Righto. Oh, that's gone in nicely. I like that. Right, let's get our dead blow. Oh, look at that. Whew, look at that. Happy days. Right, now, the proof is in the pudding. So we'll get the dial indicator and we'll set it up and we'll see how accurate this is, because that's the whole idea. And when you have a close look at where these slots are, the slot on the left is like spot on in line with the slots here, but this one here, the one on the right hand side, is way off. And if I'm way off, I've screwed up. But with those locating pins, and I'll just center the milling vise. Thanks, G. 2 hours. Oh my God. Oh yeah, we've clocked over the 2 hour mark. So 365. Look, we're virtually halfway. We're even just about, so I'm happy with that. What I want to know is if I've done everything right. Let's get this set up. In fact, I'll know whether I've screwed up or not. Let's get this. No, it's I've either got it right or I've completely screwed it up. But in my way of thinking, with everything I've done, so this is how sensitive these things are. Trying to set that, I'll put that up top. Put our 0 up there. Getting a little bit of righto. I've set that on 0. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right, hang on a second. I'm a little bit out. Just a tiny bit out. Let's, hang on. Let's get that off. Let's get this table back in the middle somewhere here. What can affect it? I tell you what, this is, righto, let's try this again. So even when I put the table lock on, it moves it a couple of hundredths of a millimetre. Righto. Well, that's pretty well fantastic. Without even clamping it down, just with those pins locating it in place. In fact, we will tighten it down just to show you the difference, because whenever you clamp something in a situation like this, it does move. It's amazing how much clamping can make things move. So we've gone from this side of the vise, just bear with me, this side of the vise to that side of the vise. So we're looking at about 150 millimetres or 6 inches, and the dial indicator has moved from here. We had it on 0 and we're now on 5. So the difference, the angle, so we got a discrepancy of 5/100ths of a millimetre over that distance. And that's 3/5 of, that's like a gnat's whisker, so to speak. It's really neither here nor there. And there is a little bit of variation in the going across the top here on the jaws. So this fixed jaw could be slightly out because of, I may have dropped, I think I've dropped the vise or something, it's surface ground, but it's been a while since I've done anything. Right, I've tightened that side down. Let's bring this other clamp in and tighten it down and just see. What I can do, anyway, the big thing is I really have solved the problem straight away. The big thing is, whenever I put this milling vise on here now, I know it's within a gnat's whisker. And I mean a gnat's whisker. Let's 6 inches. Yeah, well, 6 inches is a standard measurement. 6-inch rule, 6-inch machine vise, etc. Peter should know this. It's nothing new. Righto, so I've got that clamped down now. And I've got that, we've got it on 0 again. Just that last little bit, it comes out to 600ths. No, wrong way. Still the wrong way. Bit of autocorrect. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, on Jimmy the Cricket. Let's try this. Oh. 0.1. Let's go back. No, that's making it worse. That's better. That's better. Righto. That is like a few hundredths. Couple of hundredths there in the middle. All right. I'm happy with that. I'm really satisfied now. So over that distance, which is about 6 inches, 150 millimeters, we're out by 300ths of a millimeter. For a setup like this, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. Like I said, I'm really happy with the results. It's worked out the way I wanted it to, and I know I can put this milling vise on here with confidence every time, repeatability, and I won't have to do this again. I might just check it every so often, but a few hundredths of a millimeter, that's nothing. That's neither here nor there. So if, for instance, to give you an example, if I was drilling a part that was, say, 6 inches long, and I had to put a couple of holes in it or something, I know the alignment of those holes over that distance, say they're 4 inches apart or 100 millimeters, they would be in alignment by 1.5 hundredths of a millimeter. That's nothing, absolutely nothing. So I'm really pleased and impressed with this, and I appreciate you guys staying by me for this long and sticking with me and seeing what I'm doing. So that's great. Now, you would have seen me before. Sometimes I need to pull this off and put the rotary table on. The rotary table is a different setup. I can just pretty well clamp that everywhere, anywhere, and set it up on the circle. This, however, is a complete different story. It's just made the world of difference. I can pull this off now. I can put it back on. I can pull it off, do something else, put a big workpiece on here, and then take that off and put this back on, and I know it's within tolerance, more tolerance than what you really need to worry about. So yeah, over the moon, happy days. So I think I'm going to, I'll put this on charge for starters. I'm going to wrap things up very shortly. I think I've been blabbering on long enough. It's taken me a fair while. I was doing stuff this afternoon, and let's go back here. Oh, we've still got plenty of battery. Well, Roger, I can make things round. That's part of what I do here. I make things round. I can make a round table. Usually, you may have seen. Yeah, you're right, Peter. Tolerances are a real thing in industry.
our devices, the things we use now, are built to a tolerance. You know, your mobile phones, the computers we're using, the glasses, you know, I'm wearing. Everything is made to a tolerance. Yeah, you're right. You're right, G. Roger does need a round table. Roger's round table and the Knights of the Rogers round table or something like that. We'll have to come up with some sort of limerick or something like that. Yeah, so anyway, I am over the moon. I really am stoked about that. Couldn't have gone any better whatsoever. And with that, we've got 11 of you watching. If you don't mind, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below in the comments section after the video. If you don't mind, you can go and do that now. I don't care. It'll be great. Just helps with all the algorithm type of thingy, timey-wimey stuff. Go check out these other guys in the chat. You know, the Roger, the Pirate, the Dogface, the Stylesy, the Funkin' Hungry, and all those sort of crazy people are here in this chat. There's all 10 of you watching now. Even if you don't say anything, you can just give us a wave or something like that, or a thumbs up or whatever. Really appreciate it. So we're going to go out with our usual end stream, and maybe I should change it up for tonight. Go for something different. How about something different? Let's go something different. Going live. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Stream ending soon. See you soon. Oh, how about I'll see you soon? Let's try that. Let's try the I'll see you soon. All right, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, ball boys and ball girls, all that sort of thing. Look after yourselves. Say good day to your mum. Have a good week at work, and we'll catch us all later. Bye for now.